Hey, you guys. It's your girl, Latanya Vibes, host of Infused Queen Tea Podcast. And as you can tell by the episode title, we are talking about my actual experience of surviving hobosexuals with an S. Because this is a plural sense, not singular. Not one single experience, this is multiple experiences. Yes. And the reason, and if you see me swiping, you see me doing all this, right? It's because I decided to sit myself in a breeding ground full of mosquitoes. All right, let's get into it. So, boom. Surviving a hobosexual. First, to understand that you're fuck them all up at once. Didn't hit any of them. Didn't hit any of them. Didn't hit any of them. Okay. But anyways, let's go ahead and start. Let's get into it. Let me fix my hat. Before we get into the shot. All right. So, the reason why I decided to do this video, oh God, hold back. The reason why I decided to do this video was because I was on my own little YouTube journey through the rabbit hole that is YouTube, right? And I had noticed a few titles pop up. A few of them had, of course, because of algorithm purposes, right, have popped up because I decided to find myself in the dating scene again. I decided it might be time for me to open myself back up to the opportunity of what a connection can be and what it can bring, right? And of course, when I just doing that, and of course, because I had dating apps on my phone, like recently, I said, fuck all them other ones, we're not doing POF. We're not doing POF. Like that says you have minimal low self-esteem right there. And I'm telling you because I did it before. I'm only telling you because I did it. I can only say these things because I've lived it myself, right? But this is where your self-esteem is so low that you're just anybody. Because that's what type of people you get on PO with. Anybody. All right? I used to have Tinder. And this is where it's like, yeah, you got self-esteem, but you need attention. You're needing attention because all these motherfuckers that swiping right and telling you that you're bad and everything, I mean, that's all you're getting from there. So then I evolved. I had Bumble because I wanted to connect with friends, and then I think I had it for relationship. I switched it over, right? We're not going to do that one either. Bumble for friendships is a little nuts because them girls or the people that they have on the friendship part be a little strange. And I don't think I met with anyone from Bumble. Yeah, I've never met anybody from Bumble. Fast forward to this year, right? I said, okay, so I'm going to put myself out there more, meaning I'm going to go outside, be more active in the world, right? That way I can maybe perhaps meet my man, as I am, doing something so elegantly. He walks upon me or some shit, right? Or I'm eating lunch and he just like orders me a drink and sends it to my table or some shit. Or, I don't know, just out in the natural, right? And then I said, you know what? You don't really be outside because you're a mom and you're a business owner and you work 9 to 5. Like, ma'am, you're going to also need help because unless you're going to date one of the men at your job, which we're not doing that. You're going to have to get out, bruh, or get on Hinge. So I was like, you know what? I've never done Hinge and I haven't heard anything bad about Hinge. And it seems like they got good quality. Okay, so I'm like, let me get slides on Hinge, okay? So I'm thinking I'm evolved now because I'm not using the same dating app platforms. I'm thinking that because I'm opening myself up to the opportunity in person, shit's getting sweet. But then YouTube has a way to bring me back down to reality and made me question everything that I'm doing, right? So I'm on YouTube and I come across 2 videos. One was delete your dating apps. That was the first one, right? And it was basically a whole video stitched of a whole bunch of TikToks of people explaining why they should delete the dating apps or why they did delete the dating apps or the experiences that they had that made them want to delete the apps, right? So what do you think Latanya did after she watched that video? She deleted them apps, right? So Hinge is no longer on my phone. Never, and we'll get to that later. So then fast forward, I'm like, okay, well, we're going to meet people in real life, which, because I have been opening myself up to that, I noticed that I've been attracting in like the weirdest ways. Like, for instance, catch a lift really quick, right? It be a strong, handsome man. a specimen of a man, right? Like, but then I had to realize, if you're doing this with me, you're doing this with everybody. And I don't need my man to be in lift flirting with my other females once he picks me up. So let's not. We're gonna leave the lift duties alone. Maybe that's a story, and we'll get into that later. But fast forward, men have been finding themselves like coming up to me, approaching me, and asking me for my number, or like, communicating with me, telling me I'm beautiful, and leaving it as such. And I appreciate that. I'm not gonna lie, because it makes me realize that dating in reality is attainable, right? So let's get into the hobosexual part, right? Because this is what we really all came here for. She's like, what the fuck is a hobosexual? A hobosexual is, and it is not limited to men, okay? It's not limited to men. It is men and women that can be hobosexuals. And hobosexuals is someone that uses dating as a place to secure lease time in a residence that technically they have never been placed on the lease of. Okay? And some of the, I guess, characteristics of a hobosexual would be, for instance, for one, when you meet this person, they love bomb you, meaning, oh my God, you are just like, I've never met anyone like you, like, this connection we have is just so powerful. Let me calm down. But they just love bomb you with a sense of like wanting to press a relationship very, very fast. They don't allow the relationship to progress naturally. It's very much y'all probably met 2 weeks ago and you're probably already very, very serious and already talking about kids and already talking about moving in. Or he already has moved in, or she has already moved in, right? And there's a difference, right? When you date people and y'all are both transparent, because that's the difference between a hobosexual and a person living their life. There's a difference from you coming transparently into a connection or relationship with someone and letting them know what your space is, and then allowing them to receive it, and then allowing them to choose what they do with it, and you both are basically compromising in this situation, right? It's another thing when you enter a relationship or you're entering this connection and this person is not telling you what their pure intentions is, meaning they need a place to lay their motherfucking head, and they love bomb you and they actually pursue a relationship when they know the only reason why they're pursuing that relationship with you is because you are, and sorry to say this because I have been on the other end of it, an easy target. And it's sad to say it like that, but it is, because no naturally right-minded human being, right, self-assured, confident, and values themselves would just open themselves up to a relationship that is based off of someone's living circumstances, right? And another characteristic of a hobosexual is they, once they are always around you, right, it seems like they have nothing to pour into you but time, because they're not doing anything with it, attention, because they ain't got shit else to think about, but never finances, never any resources of any sort, never any help. And if the help comes in a EBT card, baby, that's government help. Really, they're not even helping you. It's still the government. It's someone else helping them help you. Okay, so it's not even something that they're giving to you. And another thing, emotional support, that takes time to build. A lot of times we like to say that, oh, like this person was offering me an emotional support. No, they weren't. They came in and they seen that you have everything together. You have the home, you have the car, you have some type of stability. It might not be what you want, but it's way more than what the fuck they got, right? And they see that if your whole entire world is perfect by the eye, and you are saying to me that I don't have to give you anything, all I have to do is show up, something got to be a little bit wrong with you. Something got to be, because why? We all need help. We all need assistance. Bills ain't cheap. I don't give a fuck how much money you make. I did not sign up to pay this amount of rent for me, you, my kids, and everybody else. And this is for Tanya. I've dealt with the hobosexual not only when I didn't have children, but it seems like it got worse when I had them. It got worse when I had them, and this is where the value of yourself comes in, right? So fast forward, a hobosexual, boom. Let's get into my personal experience with the hobosexual. So, LaTanya comes out of high school, goes to college. This is my first time going to be living on my own, living with my homegirl. Me and my girl, we either roommates inside the dorms or we get in the whole apartment type shit, right? Fast forward into those things. Now that I'm having this sense of independence, I'm working my ass off as a college student, like 18 years old, walking right to work, finding ways to work, 2 jobs, and go to school so that I can provide for myself, because I did not have the luxury of having the wealthy parents or the generational wealth to cover my ass to go to school or to provide for the needs that I was going to require to start life, right? I knew, based off of what I've been taught in life, that I had to get this shit myself. There was no one coming to save LaTanya at one point, and that's something that my parents have preached to me since I came out the damn womb. Hyper independency, right? And yes, that can be a very great thing because it does produce certain results like stability, financial freedom, and things like that. But it also creates the breeding ground of a light that shines in a world that a lot of people don't operate in the same way that you operate in, men or women, right? So, boom, I'm working my ass off. I finally get my little car. I got the little whip, and I got the little place. Me and my homegirl, we got the little place together, right? So we're off campus finally, and now your girl's ready to date. Now I'm feeling like a grown woman. I'm just being real. LaTanya was feeling like a grown woman. Who the fuck gonna tell me what I can do, who I can date, and what I'm like? I'm in control now. No, I was not. I was a dumb man, a little dumb. Okay, so fast forward, I decided to start dating, and it's easy to date when you're in college because campus, right? But this is literally the time when apps like social media and stuff were. I'm 2011, 2014, top time. This is where we at. So 2011 season, apps are starting to pop. People are starting to get on dating apps. I think at the time they maybe had like Tagged, Grinder for the stop. But they basically have these sites that are starting to basically gain traction for dating. And I remember I was like, well, you a badass bitch, and maybe it might make dating easier. And maybe I don't want to date the dudes on campus, which is dumb, because why you not dating a nigga that's pursuing a career? You date, if they really pursuing a career, and you'll tell by sophomore year, you could tell by junior year, starts to, then you can see it. But really, in general, I don't believe that certain phases of our life are meant to date. They're meant to have self-exploration and to discover yourself genuinely. Like, they are not meant for you to be intertwining yourself with someone who's also lost in who the fuck they are, okay? But you couldn't tell a grown bitch nothing back then. So I started dating, and I remember that I had this pressure on myself that was unreal, because I was comparing myself to the other women, which of course women around me, we in college, we all pursuing our endeavors. They're very high motivated women. These women are coming through with the same thing I got. They're coming through with cars, they're coming through with education, they're coming through with a home, they're coming through with ambition, they're coming through with the same thing. So I'm like, damn, what do I really have to offer? Okay, now mind you, I was one of the girlies who lost her virginity in college, right? So whenever I first got there, I'm not giving out no coochie. All I got is good conversation, personality, and some nurturing. Okay, and I can cook. Half of these hoes out here is making ramen. Baby, give me a pack of shrimp. Okay? I'll make us a stop. Let me stop. So anyways, I just felt like I was a high caliber woman, but the only thing I wasn't given that everybody was giving up at that time was sex. So I felt like when I was entering any connection, I had to overcompensate from the beginning, okay? From the first time I started even initially dating, I felt like I had to overcompensate to be around the people or date the men I wanted to date. Mind you, while I was overcompensating, I never set a structure, skill, or standard for what a man had to come to me with. At none of these points, at the very early, I was literally like, how can I be chosen? That's just the best way of saying it. How can LaTanya be the chosen one for the chosen one. Okay? And at that time, that's when Latanya was like, well, shit, everybody popping coochie. And every man is literally like downplaying me and making me feel less of a value because the one thing I won't give up is the most important thing to them. I'm going to throw it. I'm going to throw it. I'm going to throw it. And did. Okay? And regretted it. And called my mom. I called my mom before I did it. Okay? I called her just so she, Mama, what am I? And she's like, girl, if you gonna let words hurt you, if you gonna let these people get in your fucking mind and make you make decisions, because my mom is a Sag, and make decisions, that's on you. Okay? So what do you think Latanya did? Little child girl wounds. I'm gonna do it because you told me not to do it. Dumbass does it, right? Result, I end up being a part of a nigga's roster. Okay? And not only just the nigga's roster, a hobosexual's roster. And the hobosexual literally at this time had a home, right? But he would hop from meal plan to meal plan, from girl with a car to girl with a car, right? And we would only see him when one of the other ones off the roster didn't play her part by doing what the fuck she needed to do by letting him take the car to go see another bitch off campus, or to take a bitch to a day off campus. Certain things like that. Okay? And here's my gullible ass. Well, the more I do for him, he's gonna choose me. And he gotta be a great man. If all of us is fighting over this one nigga, we're not fighting over him. We are fighting over the thing between his legs. And if we cut that motherfucker off and make a mold of it, we all can have it. Let me stop telling people that. Y'all scratch that. But really, that's what I think about dick. I really think I had to separate the penis from the man. Because if you separate the penis from the man, right, you start to realize, do I really like the man? Or is it that thing that is nonverbal that I connect to? And it's probably that thing that is nonverbal that you connect to, because when you try to communicate and be verbal to the person that it's attached to, it goes nowhere. It's draining. It's toxic. But that's neither here or there. Let's get back to the hobosexuals. So that was my first tap into a hobosexual. Second hobosexual. This one, it really got me, y'all. And I'm going to tell y'all this story because I need y'all to really lock in, so that you don't end up running around with his 3 children. Things like that. Okay? So fast forward. Now I'm out of college. I got my own crib that I literally was over here fighting an ex about, literally, because it was my own crib. Like, quick story. I was dating this man that was way older than me, right? And he thought that he was going to be able to control a bitch financially, which means he never gave me any money because he would spend his money on drugs. He was a drug addict. But he felt like him taking me on dates, him letting me go with him when he would go to the casino, him buying me an outfit because he bought himself an outfit. The only reason why he bought me an outfit is because he bought himself one and he wanted me to match him. He was a Leo, if that matters. But in situations like that, I have created this sense of like, oh yeah, I'm not going to be with anybody who think they're going to control a bitch based off of what they're doing for me. And that was at 21 that I learned that lesson. Okay? So then I entered this new relationship with this new mindset that I am going to have everything that I require, and that I will date a man based off of me just genuinely liking to be in his space. I'm not going to date you based off of your job. I'm not going to date you based off of what you can do for me in the future. I'm not going to date you based off of what you have in general, like car, transportation, none of that. So Latanya just decided, because that one man treated me a certain way, I was going to shoot the fucking standards down. Type shit, okay? And when I did that, I attracted so many men, bro. I attracted so many men. But numbers does not mean quality. Okay? And so I get out that relationship with the older ass man, and I decided to go on, I think, POF. This is where I met my baby daddy. True story. So Latanya's on POF, girl. I'm in college. I'm moving. I think I basically went to college to take a break from the man. It was real toxic. I needed a break from the man. Ended up finding me a nice little gig in Louisville, got me an apartment in Louisville, had my car that my parents gave me for my 16th birthday. That car been paid off, 2002 Galant. Okay, so your girl, and then it had good gas mileage. And back then, $20 could fill a tank up. I was, okay, I was that girl. I was that girl. And I didn't even realize I was that girl at the time because I was too busy worried about dating instead of figuring out who Latanya was. But okay, that's besides the point. So fast forward, I'm dating on the app, and I meet a dude. And this dude looks, and this, I always tell him, like, this is a story I've already told him, so this is public news now, public record. I seen a picture of this man, read his profile. He's coming from college. He played basketball in college, like all the things, right? All the things. I'm like, I'm coming from college. We both are from the same area. Basically, he was in a whole nother school district than I was. So we crossed paths maybe athletically, but we just never crossed paths in any other form, right? Then I find out later that his family lives like literally down the street from my grandma, and my grandma's been at that house since I was born. So I'm like, damn, do you know how many times that we could have been together already with daddy? Because I'm delusional. I'm just telling y'all, I'm delusional. So fast forward, me and him, we start talking on POF, and I remember his page was very, very brim, like very, very cut dry, not having too much on it. So I remember when me and him first talked, I definitely didn't give him attention, but then he started applying pressure, like he wanted me to bitch, okay? And so at this time, I just got out that toxic ass relationship with an abusive drug addict. So I was just like, anything is fun. I just need fun. I'm not technically trying to force a relationship, but if it does happen, y'all know I'm always up for the laugh. So fast forward, me and this man are spending time together. We're spending time together. He starts to meet my family. I accidentally meet his. Every time I would end up meeting his family, it was by accident, because something occurred and we had to meet them, or they had to help us. Something happened, we met them, right? Or the time I met his mom, I was at her house. He ain't trying to tell me too much. He talking about, yeah, just come in here real quick. Come in there, we're leaving. All of a sudden, this is his mama's crib, okay? This is his mom's crib. And I'm like, I meet his mom based off of her coming in her crib. I'm leaving her crib. And I don't know how many other hoes has been in there. Let me be honest. I didn't know how many other girls had came through there. I didn't know where we stood. So I was just like, I don't need to be introducing myself. And shit. Because this is not what type of woman I am. And my mama didn't raise me like this. She raised me like this. So fast forward, at the time I still had my crib, but I was about to move out because I did not want to live anywhere where my ex knew where I lived at, because I knew this man, as we broke up, this is another man I met online. When we broke up, he broke up with me, right? Because he was cheating on me. He was sharing information about me to everybody online, okay, in Kentucky Small. So he's on Facebook just talking shit. Like, he would whip my ass, and then the one time I swing back, he wanted to post a picture of a black eye. Did you post you biting my finger? Did you post the lampshade cuts on my leg? Did you post the videos of you talking about SWAT team about to break in because you high? And because I've never been around drugs, I didn't know how to tell the difference. Baby, this is why experience is necessary. So, basically, I'm dating this man. And when he meets me, I'm working. So, like, for the first 2 weeks, I think we were both, like, just vibing, had time for each other all the time. But I wasn't too, like, it literally took me 2 weeks for me to know this man's name, right? He has a different, a unique name, so that's why it was hard for me to do it. But basically, he starts to basically, like, puts himself into my life. Like, he's everywhere I'm at, we're doing everything together, and I'm just in love, because I'm like, why does this man have so much time for me? If I need a ride home from work, he got me. If I need to do this, he got me. And I don't know, he was just like, it felt like a safe option at the time, right? Fast forward years, Years. Let's fast forward to she's pregnant by him, okay? Latanya had to do certain things to stay in this relationship. And that means I had to basically be the provider. I had to be the soft one. I had to be the nurturer. I had to come home, cook, clean. I also had to go clock in. I also had to, every time I want a car or he want a car or anything needs to be done, Latanya's the first one trying to figure out how we gonna do it. Every time we need to move, Latanya's the first one to find the home, get the place and everything. And this is not taken away from the times that he has paid in, right? But this is looking fast forward to now we have kids and how you handling me. Because you've been handling me this whole time, but I just never paid attention, right? So fast forward, we have kids now, and we would break up because he's cheating, okay, which is normal. Like, yo, you don't want to be here. And I would realize that how he would do his cheating would be he would wait till I was the most vulnerable, and he found another bitch with a place to have a home. And when he found the girl who has the home or somewhere he can kick up at, he would leave. And at the only time he would leave, meaning he would stay with me, be toxic, he would cheat on me, he'd beat my ass, he would do whatever he needed to do, right? But then he would find himself in another home with another person making me feel like shit. Because now I'm just like, damn, was it me? Am I the problem? Baby, you're not the problem. You're the whole fucking solution. But he found another solution that was easier to deal with, that doesn't know his games, right? Because you've been having experience with this man doing these things to you, but you haven't called it what it was. So as we have kids, we would go on stints where we would break up, and the times where he would move out, like I'd be like, it's time for you to fucking go. It would take a lot for me to get there, because I'd be like, oh my god, like this man, he supports me, like, no. Every time you in there crying, that motherfucker's making you cry harder. He ain't making you ready to put a gun to your head. Every time you crying, he's ready to put his hands on you. Every time you crying, he's ready to find somebody else that ain't. Every time you can't handle home, he don't help you at home. He go finds another home. Okay? So I remember allowing my family and friends, like every time they would tell me about him, he would basically isolate me from them and make it seem like, no, they don't have your best interest. They don't know what we've been through together, things of that nature. And I would be like, no, you right. Believe in his ass, because guess what? Who didn't want to be lonely? Who didn't want to be lonely? And it took the last time, and this is, I guess we're going to end it with him and then go on to now what it looks like. I remember when I was about to move from Kentucky. I had this home. I was working downtown at Jewish Hospital in the ER. And I was going through a miscarriage. I was going through the loss of my grandmother, all within like, I think a 2-week radius. And then as I'm going through all this, right, this man has me funding his life. He's the stay-at-home dad, right? Mind you, our child at the time, I think we had 2 by this time. By this time, these babies is not walking, okay? I have postpartum depression, and I'm grieving, because I was grieving my grandmother for the entire year, right? So I'm grieving my grandmother. I'm grieving the loss of a baby, which he did not help me go to the hospital. That was not his job. That was not his job, is what I was told. There was other things we could do. What about the kids, right? Like the kids couldn't come with us to the hospital to get checked out. So, sir, I'm doing a podcast. Yes, and you over here interrupting me. So fast forward, this man literally is not supportive. He's not financially pouring into the home. I'm paying for everything. So now I'm literally depressed, because I'm like, I can't leave work because I'm the only one paying for this shit. And then he moves his cousin in, who is another hobosexual. And this one's a hobosexual to the core. Okay? This man does not want to work at all. This man does have kids, will bring the kids to me to watch them and disappear. Not even my kids, right? This man stole from my wallet, okay? Which then I was gaslight into, well, why would he? Because this nigga ain't got no job, and I'm the only one with a damn job, and he can't take from you because you ain't got no job either, motherfucker. Sorry, come back. Moves another hobosexual into my house. I am working third shift at the Jewish hospital. I just had a miscarriage. I am losing my fucking mind. And then at this point, this man starts to, because now he's like, I don't know if she's going to be able to handle this too much longer. Let me go out here and look. So on the times where I would go to sleep, I would wake up to him just not being there. My car gone. The car I was driving to work, the car that I paid off, baby. So he's driving my car around, cheating at night, leaving his cousin at my house, which then they use my car to go pick up another hoe who ain't got no home, because clearly that's why y'all coming on my house to fuck on my couch. So I wake up. It's the middle of the night. This is the deciding factor to Florida, okay? I work a night shift. I come home and I'm asleep. Something told me to wake up at 11. I never wake up at 11 because normally that's the time that I would be normally awake. So normally I fall asleep at 6. But if I fall asleep the day before 9, I'm done for. I'm not getting up. Something literally woke my spirit up. I think it was God. He said, wake up. I said, what's up? I walk out into my living room because I noticed my keys are gone. I walk out, look out the window. My car is gone. Text the baby daddy, where the fuck do you think you at? This is literally 11 o'clock at night. Where are you at? You didn't even tell me you were leaving. And then you got your grown-ass cousin in here. Right? Your grown-ass cousin got a girl with him. Now, this is the third night she done been over here. And now, not only is your cousin here with a stranger, your cousin is a stranger to me, but your ass is out. I just had a miscarriage. I just found out I'm pregnant again. I'm pregnant with Ali, my littlest one. But I tell y'all, the next day I got paid. The next day, I booked that motherfucking Airbnb in Florida, in Orlando, Florida. I put that gas in that motherfucking car. I left everything in that home to the hobosexual cousin, which then still could not pay. My rent was $550 at the house, y'all. And he had a whole home fully furnished by Latanya, okay? Fully furnished, set up. And I left it. Left every fucking, that's how fed up I was. That's how drained I got. Left everything. Grabbed what I fucking could, threw it in the back of that X5. And picked my hobosexual up by his shoulders and said, let's go. Cause you gonna help me with these damn kids, bruh. I got some shit to do. So fast forward, me and him in relationship, because of his hobosexual ways, right? Which then it grants me the permission to just finally take a step back and tend to myself, which is what I did the last 5 years of being in Florida, which is bitch, who are you outside of these niggas? You've been these niggas since day one. These hobosexuals since day one, because he wasn't the first one I encountered for real. Fast forward, I'm thinking I'm healed. I'm thinking I'm doing shit. I'm over here now judging myself because I have children. And this is the reason why this story is necessary. I'm judging myself because now I feel like I used to devalue myself because I felt like I had everything that everybody else was offering. Now I felt like I had a chip on my shoulder because I had 3 kids, right? Yes, 1 dad, but still 3 children. So now I feel like I have to overcompensate to be in any relationship because of the attachments I have that someone has to be willing to accept. But the man or the being for me and the being for you is going to look at what you are bringing to the table, not like I have to accept this, but thank you for adding this motherfucking thing to my motherfucking life path and my journey. Whether that be your business, whether that be a child, whether that be your family, whether that be how you are, just genuinely to the core. If you feel like it is too much and you have to overcompensate based off of the value that you bring, boo, I'm telling you, there's someone that is going to look at your value like that motherfucker is too expensive for them to touch. And they are willing to put the time, energy, and work in to supply, to have the value, to make up, to get there. If they aren't already there, because I think that my man's going to have it already there. He's going to be just as valued just like I am. Whatever he coming with, I'm ready. Okay? But I noticed that, like I said, my standards have been shot to the fucking ground. And the dating apps had done that, because every time I would date, it's like they either led with how sexually beautiful I was, or they would literally try to chop me off at the fucking knees because I was a mom. Like, half of them ain't hiding children in the first place. Like, half of them ain't got other shit that they hiding. Like, you aren't a hobosexual. Okay? And you can tell by the hobosexualness because every time LaTanya texts them, I always got something to do. I always got a schedule. So then they be like, LaTanya, what do you got? I think your schedule is a little bit more busy than mine. No, baby, you just ain't got nothing to do because every time I hit you up, you free. I'm not free. Even if I say, I think I'm free, I'm not free. Okay? But you always find yourself available. Available as fuck. Like you don't have your own life to tend to. Like you ain't got a bill on your forehead like it is on mine. So fast forward, I'm dating with kids now, even to the most recent. But the most recent has been probably the most healed I've been with dating, right? More aware. Fast forward to maybe like last year, the year before, even the year prior, 3 years. 3 years I was just solely single, okay? Full ass single. Like ain't nobody checking for me at all. And I was proud. Okay? And I remember starting to date, but realizing that, first of all, if they can't accept my children or they make me feel bad about it, I'm not dating you. We don't need to meet up. I'm sorry. What do we need to talk about? You already let me know what's up. Fast forward, I started to date again, and I started realizing that the conversations are bare minimum. Them trying to get to know you is very bare minimum. But the things that they do ask you is given job application. It's given, do you work? Do you live alone? Is it yours? Oh, you got wills? Do you got kids? Because the thing is, when you say you have all these things, right? You say you have the car, the home, the job, right? Now you're already saying that you doing a little bit better than them. Not even a little bit. You're doing a lot better than them. Let's just be very clear. You're doing a lot better than them. Okay? So then being a woman with children, they come through like, well, where can I chop her down at? Where do I feel like I actually am winning versus where she can't? She's not. And a lot of times people try to chop you down, whether you're a man or a woman, about your children. Right? But also, my children have been the reason why a lot of men have found me attractive because they want to take part in being a kid in the home. And the reason why I say being a kid in the home is because you want to be a dependent. Okay? So let me tell you about the first homosexual I dated after, like, with children. So I remember I was very, very stern about, like, I don't want nobody to beat my children. I want it to be very serious. I need you to be pursuing marriage eventually. And this is when marriage was on the table for me. And what I mean by marriage was on the table, marriage was the deciding factor of if this man was going to be continue to talk to me and have my energy or not. And the reason why I was feeling that way is because, like, if you're not chasing a serious commitment, then what the fuck am I doing with you? Because I require a serious commitment for my children. I require a serious commitment just for myself, even if I didn't have children. So if we ain't even talking that. But then LaTanya has to her that my marriage ideology and stuff. We gonna talk about that in another video. But back to the homosexual I dated first. I remember I met him. This one had at least a piece of a job, and he was staying at his mom's house. And I remember our first date. I remember he was talking himself up. He was a religious man. This one was an Israelite, I'm going to be honest. And I remember when I met him, he was just very keen on what a woman should be doing for him. Like, all the conversations we had was very much tailored to what he's going to be receiving out this relationship. And not once did I realize this was not a copacetic relationship, because what was I getting out of this besides your presence? But that's it. What was I getting out of it besides your presence? Not a damn thing. So anyways, we're talking, and he's making himself a high value man, and I'm allowing him to, because I don't shut anybody down. If you need to hype yourself up, boo, I'm right here clapping. I've always been a natural cheerleader. Yes, you worked that full-time job. Yes, you've been there for 2 years. Yes, you out here trying. Yes, you about to get you a place soon. Okay? And so when I'm talking to these dudes, they put me through a motherfucking application of I have to have a home, a car, a job. I have to be able to overly provide for my children without their father's actual being there. They don't want the father there at all. They don't want the father to provide any form of finances unless he gonna be doing it. And a lot of times they don't want him to, but they ain't gonna do it. They ain't gonna do it. How you want me to cut off an income supply when you ain't even doing it for them? My children, I don't want you to do it. I want their dad. I want their dad. Okay? Okay? We'll figure you out later. Because I don't even know if I like you. And I got to tell them that. A lot of times when I'm dating, I tell them, we can slow down because I want to know that I actually like you and that you like me. You're already talking about kids. You're already talking about how I'm going to date with them around. And baby, I want to know if I even like you before we even start talking all that talk. I ain't with all that talking. So, fast forward, me and this man, we start getting serious. Like, we're hanging out all the time, and I'm picking him up. And I noticed the keen step. If you are dating anybody, and the first time y'all hang out is always in your residence or his residence, right? I don't mind if you guys have two separate residences, but that should not be the first date. You don't know that man. You don't know that woman. The first date needs to be outside somewhere. It can be free as the park, but it is going to be outside, okay? And that day, I am not ending it at your home. You are not ending it at my home, okay? So this man, because, I'm being helpful. I'm trying to, get my own place soon. Me and my brother, we staying at our mom's house. Like, I'm tired of it. I'm paying for everything. They always got the story they're struggling. They're overcompensating where they're at. Oh my God, right? So I'm just trying to do the best I can. So within the first 2-3 weeks of us being together, like being around each other, I start taking this man to work. Mind you, I had to go to work. Mind you, I had my own schedule where I had to take my kids to school. I had to go to work every day. This was before him and after him. When I met him, now it's, oh my God, like I really need to get to work and like nobody's helping me and da-da-da-da-da. And here I go. Well, I guess I got to pour into this man because that's what the woman should do. And maybe that's the problem with us right now is that we're not doing enough for them. And maybe if I'm the one doing this, he will treat me differently. He will go about me differently, right? So I'm taking this nigga to work. Now, guess what? Now my lunch breaks went from my lunch breaks to going to lunch, get my nails done, shopping, anything that I would just personally do for myself. Now my lunch breaks was took. Now I'm going to, before I go to work, take him to work, take my kids to school, take myself to work. Now on my lunch break, I am leaving work to go pick him up from work, take him to my home for him to chill so I can go back the fuck to work, then to get off, pick my kids up, go home, cook dinner and everything. While this nigga sat there, watched his nuts, and watched the Lakers play. And then asked me when his plate was, and then would demand that I call his mama so we could talk to his mama about marriage in the Israelite way and all these things, right? And it's no disrespect to the Israelite. It isn't. It's disrespect to how you were supposed to be this certain type of caliber man and you're expecting a woman to show up in the way of your religion, but you don't even show up in the way of your religion. How much do you follow at? Because I done been with some Muslims that do that too. How is the devout to the religion? How is the devout to how a person, the people on the external should show up? But none of the revelation comes to how your own actions have been portrayed when you're supposed to be the person following those. Okay. So I'm talking to his mama. I'm changing my schedule. And then now I don't even have free time. And every time I need to go do something like for business, because LaTanya started business at this time. Like this is when I was fresh in the cut of Queen vibes. Okay. Fresh. Naked stickers and candles and shit. And this man literally would snap, like, always make everything that I was doing about him. Until one day, your girl literally had to leave work. I left work, whipping it, picking his ass up from work, right? Because now he's off. And I'm driving back to work. Now I'm already mad because I hadn't ate all day. I think bills was coming up, and I think this was where me and him were discussing, instead of him moving into my place solely, right, we would get a place together. So now this man has me apartment searching for a place for him. Really, that's really what this is. Because I already got a place. My lease is signed. I'm locked in 2 more years, right? But this man got me literally out here looking for places and also looking at my finances, because when I move into this place, right, he's going to want me to split that bill. He's not paying for my rent. He's not paying for my utilities. He's not helping me with my gas. Mind you, my car's paid off, but he ain't helping me with that. This man is robbing a bitch blind. Riding me blind. And I'm literally telling myself, like, oh, okay, I got to show up as this type of woman, because this is what a man desires. This is what's going to take me to the next level. Whole time, he's a hobosexual. Okay? In that relationship that day, because after I drove, he asked to use my car. Okay, I'm already getting upset. So, asked to use my car that day. He's like, I'm going to drop you off at work. I said, bet. Drops me off at work, takes my car to his mama's job. My car was pushed to start at the time. Keys leaves him at his mom's job. Then drops my car back to me to complain to me that he left my keys, right? And now he can't cut off the car. What do I need to do about it? He makes me leave my job to figure this shit out. When I tell you, I dropped that nigga off at his mom's job and I got my keys back and I left. And I dropped his things off at his mom's house and I left. Do y'all know how much mental ill I had to be to allow that whole motherfucking thing to progress like it did? The mentalist of the ill. Okay? Recent hobosexual, right? So boom. Or I guess I haven't even dated any more hobosexuals after him. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of them, I could tell they hobosexuals kind of after I start hanging out with them, so then I just never let them come over. So I guess what I will say is my recent experience with the hobosexual has been me recently dating, which is why I deleted the apps recently, right? Was because I noticed that this time as I go through dating, as I'm valuing myself more, as I'm learning more about what I require in my own experience, right? We're not doing that again. We're having standards for every person that we encounter, okay? We are not going to limit ourselves or even change, redirect, or make ourselves feel fit to feel comfortable in someone else's life when literally you're just a pass-by in theirs. And the stories I was watching from this YouTube video fucked me up, because some people, literally this one guy admitted to it. He's like, oh yeah, like from my ages 19 to 22, I literally did not have a place to stay, and so I used Tinder for different places, and I always had a place to stay based off of Tinder. Do you know how sick that shit is? Or in life experience, because now I'm learning it's just men in general that, baby, they not even on the date naps, they in real life doing this shit. They're in real life doing it. I've had men literally come up to me, or like I'll be in a lift, like examples of the lift I was talking about. Boom, I'm in a lift, they driving me, they whipping me, right? And then they be trying to fuck around and find out, because I'm a baddie. And as they pull me up to my crib, that's when oh, this your crib? Oh, you live here by yourself? Oh, what are you asking all them questions for when you don't even know me? Do you even know my fucking favorite color? You only know where I live because you dropped me off and I paid you to bring me here. If you want to flirt with a bitch, send me that $28 back via Cash App, since you want the number so bad. Oh, no? Okay. Ladies, we are not men. Ladies, date at your own pace. Take your time to see these people all the way through. Yes, things happen in life. Yes, your man might be a man that is going through something. I'm not claiming that for you. Me personally, I'm not claiming that for you. I don't claim that for nobody, actually. The person for you, is going to match where you are. And if you have people coming into your life right now, genuinely sit back and think about why they are matching you at this moment. Look at where they're at. Figure out why y'all are aligning. A lot of times we are aligning with these people because you have something that they need, whether it be a physical home, a car to get somewhere, or actually just emotional space and capacity, because nobody else believes the bullshit that you believe. My personal experience, I have put myself in financial debt that I've had to constantly recover from. I'm talking about cars for other people in my name that they just be signing up. And they have not even shown me no type of stability for me to be put my name to their shit, because I actually had to work for mine. Baby, I didn't get to get all the credit cards that y'all got. Okay? I fucked up using it, buying niggas' cars. The stability. And then I'm over here laying next to these niggas having anxiety attacks at night because I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to pay the bills when I'm laying next to a nigga that should be helping me have anxiety. We both should have anxiety. That nigga rested on a silk pillow. Do you know how many, my last relationship, and this is hard for me to talk about because, like, I love to always speak positively in light of everybody in my experience, but sometimes when you do that, you negate what you went through and how you experienced it. And yes, that man would pay for dates. Yes, that man would do certain things, but it was very, very much conditional, and everything was fucking half and half. LaTanya, and a lot of times I only spent money because he wanted to spend money, and then I would go half with him, and then he good because guess what? He ain't got nobody eating up his motherfucking bills. I'm eating my bills up. I got the 3 kids, and then the whole time I'm taking responsibility for the kids, the finances in the relationship, or taking more of the burden because I felt that because I have children, that it should be my burden. No, because we're partners. No. And then every time I would try to, like, basically invest in myself in any way, it would be a problem. Getting my own car, even down to a home. We would try to get a home together, and every place said no. It took me getting the place by myself for it to go through. I'm thinking the whole time I've been dating, because I've never dated a man where they had the credentials or credit to be able to help go in half on a home. Every place I've lived, it's had to be based off of my shit and my finances. Even in the last relationship, no, LaTanya was working full time. I would support my man going to school. And you see where that left me. I can say that with a smile on my face now, because it's like, even that experience taught me, like, no. Sometimes people will even do a little just to continue to get more out of you, because it's like they realize you accept the bare minimum. And everyone around me was gassing me up about it. Oh, girl, you better accept that a little bit. You got kids. Girl, you better accept that a little bit. I mean, there's women out here that are younger than you that's married. What? I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. So we not dating hobosexuals. We done with this conversation. We done addressing them. Y'all know what the hobosexual looks like. You know you deserve more. Let's do that. And welcome to LaTanya's, or thank you for visiting LaTanya's Bob's TED Talk. LaTanya Talk. No, I'm sorry. I had to get that one off. I'm sorry. I was stressed about it. I said, I'm tired. And when I seen them videos pop up, so yeah, I think I'm going to start vlogging about my dating experience from a more healed space and not from the most toxic shit I was going through from the past. Because if it's given past, I'm not going to go through it again. And we're not going to, no. And a new one, I'm going to start going to the running clubs. Because I've seen some men in there. I've seen some husbands that know how to commit. Know how to commit to something. And I could tell by them running shoes, daddy, and that little leg sleeve that you do work. You pay for that, hopefully. Hopefully, Marguerite didn't buy that for you. I'm gonna find that. I'm gonna stop. But I love you guys. We are valuing ourselves the rest of 2024. We are not going to continue. If you're in a relationship like that right now, I want to let you know it is better to leave. And nothing is worse than what you're experiencing now. And that's coming from me. I've lost so much, but I've gained way more and the stability I required by just leaving these motherfuckers alone and leaving when I could, because a lot of times we allow the other person to leave, but then it still puts us in a fucking bind. I would be like, well, guess what? I'm not gonna leave him. I'm gonna wait till he leaves me. Well, now you're in a bind. That nigga had no bills there. He could pick up and go. Get out of here. I love you.